Let's now discuss this with Whistleblowers House Executive Director Ben Theron. Ben, thank you so much for your time. This once again highlights the plight of whistleblowers in South Africa.
Good morning, and thank you for having us. Absolutely. It is absolutely scary what has happened. There's context to this, and it's not an easy story to tell. This is very fresh. I mean, less than 12 hours earlier that this happened, and there's a lot of new information that is coming to the fore, and I suppose the whole weekend will be full of this news.
Let's now talk about, the frequency of retaliation. We know that, in police are saying they are going to investigate every possible thing that may be involved here, including the allegations of him being involved in mining operations. But let's talk about the frequency of retaliation in matters where, South Africans, ordinary South Africans in certain instances, really just take the stand and fight against corruption or dare to even speak out against it.
It is absolutely too frequent. And the problem that we have in South Africa is that there is no culture and there's no history of actually protecting whistleblowers, number one. Number two, making sure that the perpetrators, the opposite of whistleblowers, in actual fact gets found, identified and prosecuted. The difficulty we have in this case in South Africa is the high levels of corruption, high levels of crime. So when something like this happens, it's very difficult to identify whether this individual, in this case, Van Merwe, is this common crime. It can't be. The coincidence is just too high. And what needs to happen is a full investigation to find out exactly what happened. Who will forget Mkonazi, as he ended his evidence, actually acknowledging that I would have retired if CAT have received the contract. I was getting ready to retire, the man says. He is the man that is fingered by this whistleblower. This is jail time. He actually acknowledged on TV that he took bribes and he was waiting for a big payday. So there's a direct link here. The problem in South Africa is the lawmakers for the last 2 years have been dithering on the Whistleblower Protection Act. Number two, there's no facility as it is right now will protect whistleblowers. In this particular case, and this is very important, right in the beginning of the Madlanga Commission, we spoke publicly and said, how do you trust the police when they are entrusted to look after your safety? How do you trust them if they are the ones at the moment? And every day there are new revelations at the Commission about the corruption, about what's happening behind the scenes, the infighting between hawks themselves, number one, a play for power, and now the suspended police minister, absolute hogwash. It is unreal. We need to get to the bottom of this and start fixing. We don't have an answer, but I promise you, things need to happen very quickly. One thing that needs to be remembered, this man was murdered in front of his family. That family is now traumatized for life. You can just think about Babita family still today, a few years later, still suffering. Something needs to happen and something needs to happen soon. We cannot afford this anymore.
We know that Witness D was not under witness protection. And of course, there are many reasons why people don't choose to go under witness protection. Some have families, some are employed. I don't know if this is true, but I'm told that at times, if you are a government employee, you may still be able to get compensated while you're away from your family. So you're still able to provide for them. Talk to us about some of the reasons why people choose not to go into witness protection.
The witness protection is very specific as opposed to whistleblower protection. Witness protection is very specific, and there are a few preconditions that you need to go. There are certain preconditions that need to be met before you can become put under witness protection. Number one, the evidence that you have should be credible. Number two, the case should be enrolled in court. So in this particular case, that wouldn't have happened because there's no case. We're so busy with the commission. And then thirdly, your life should have been proved. There should be credible evidence that your life is in danger. Then only do you get put into witness protection. So those are the preconditions. Once you get put into the program, you get isolated because your family gets left behind, um, unless they're part of you. But then the rest of the family gets you get isolated from the rest of the family. So assuming it's me and my wife and my daughter and my son, the rest of the family, the larger family, I'm out of there. So it's only the core family that gets protected, if at all, and that is isolated. You get taken out of your normal environment. You could be taken overseas, etc. So it's very lonely, and it's not short term because people will hunt you, and it's not a short term thing. What happens after the case? And if you think back about the Zondo Commission, even today, the two witnesses with a database, we still don't know where they are because they are in witness and in safety. We don't know where they are. They are very isolated, and it's a very expensive exercise. Ask me, we know.
And I mean, some would say that, government participation and willingness to actually admit that the plight of whistleblowers is still not attended to. Would you say that there has been any steps really taken since the Zondo Commission going into the Madlanga Commission? Do you think there has been progress in ensuring that whistleblowers and even witnesses are protected?
The only thing I can tell you is that the draft paper 2 years ago in July was released. Lots of submissions were made. And as things stand right now, we don't know where that is. The president promised before the end of this year, the year is almost done, 3 weeks to go, then the year will be done. We haven't seen anything. One of the MPs yesterday said that the paper will be released in the first quarter of 2026. What do we do in the meantime? The Whistleblower House is the unique organization in the country, in the world, that provides the services, and we're actually, in fact, doing government's work for them. Unfortunately, we don't have funds, so we have limited resources. We have applied for funds at the various institutions, and I've just been told on Tuesday that the application has not survived. So we are in a cash. We are the only people that do what we do. We are doing government's work. Do we have funds? No. Do we fight for funds every day? Yes, we do. So the appetite to fix the problem, I think, is sorely lacking. And if you look at what's happening at the Madlanga Commission, the exposés that are happening every day, it's unreal. Because will you trust what you've just heard? Forget about the murder last night, just the last week. Will you ever trust the police to do what's supposed to be doing for whistleblowers after hearing what you last night? I don't think so. Here's the problem for the Madlanga Commission. Witnesses will now suddenly say, we are not interested in coming forward because our lives are threatened and our lives could be lost. And what's going to happen is that the lives of your family is going to be threatened because that will silence me. And that is the difficulty that we have. Something drastically needs to happen over this weekend and over this festive period. So when they reopen the doors in January, it's a complete new environment. Because it's not only the facility where it's taking place at the moment, the Bridget Mabandla College. It's not the only place where that needs to be secured. It needs to be secured outside the environment as well.
Among some of the measures that have been put in place at the Madlanga Commission is, of course, witnesses testifying in camera. But witnesses give a detailed account of certain events, which may potentially expose their identity. What do you think are some of the measures that can be put in place to ensure that witnesses are protected?
The primary thing is that the individual appearing in front of the commission need to know that anything happening to witnesses, they will be held account. And the problem in South Africa is nobody gets held account. So that's the first point. Then the second point is that the witnesses need to know that their lives are safe. One of the difficulties we have is that if I'm the accused and you testify against me, and the way this was played out is this happened, I was there. So there are 4 people. It must be one of those 4 people and I would know the names. And then that person needs to be taken and making sure that they are safe. And the difficulty is people want to live their lives. So this individual is a security guard. He's working, he's investigating and closing down illegal mines. And remember, right at the beginning of the Madlanga Commission, I said the following. The police and the defense force are the only government organization get allocated arms. They are the only people in South Africa that get allocated government arms, guns. How do you control that? Everybody else must buy it, the security industry, but these are the two industries which is now being investigated. And the difficulty we have is the exposés on a daily basis is absolutely scary, right up to accusations against the minister, the commissioners. How do you do this? The army should be called in for this because, and I'm not too sure you can trust the army, but that's the level of where we are right now. The level of incompetence is unreal.
I want us to talk about the solution going forward. What does this mean for witnesses that are going to come, that are yet to come to the commission? And we know that today, the National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemula will be engaging Justice Mbuyiseni Madlanga over the security issues. But what really can be done going forward to ensure that this information still comes? Because it is important to resolve the issues that are faced by the criminal justice system. It cannot stop. While that is also important, the safety of the people involved here is also of paramount importance. So what is the way forward? What is the solution, that can be derived here?
The security, the individuals involved in the security need to be vetted, first of all. So when I am a witness for the Madlanga Commission, I need to be vetted, absolutely. So that's the first thing, so that we know that the individuals involved here is, in fact, people of high caliber and they can be trusted. And at the moment, nobody trusts anybody after the exposés. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you need to be able to ensure the public, broad public, that their security will be ensured, and the individuals coming forward to inside and outside the organization must be able to ensure. Arrests for this particular murder must happen immediately so people can see consequences. We have seen the last week, people that are in jail can do what they want. There are rumors to be had, with public rumors, I'm not gerrymandering, where individuals said that inmates are set free at night to go and commit murders and they get taken back into jail the next morning. How will you ever identify that individual as a suspect? Guns are allocated from the firearm caches in safekeeping of the police to that inmate to go and do the murder. Then they get put back in jail. How can you ever suspect somebody who's in jail? I mean, for 2 years, this man was running around free. He's now in court with designer clothing. Something is wrong in South Africa. So we're talking about solutions. Number one, vet the people involved here. Number two, making sure that the people that come to the commission are safe and their families.
Yeah.
And number three, the Whistleblower House is here to help people. The problem that we have is nobody's funding us. Nobody's funding us. We are absolutely doing stuff that's required by the government. We're not getting funding by government. We don't have funding. We battle to get funding. And organizers are very difficult.
Have you engaged the commission about the services that you offer and what you can bring to the table as part of the solutions?
We are in the process. At the beginning, we reached out and suddenly they became very busy. And the reality is they are extremely busy. They've got static security for the building, and then they've got to have close protection outside. And then there are other security stuff that nobody ever talks about, neither do we. But we are in discussions, and hopefully we can finalize some other arrangement and contractual arrangement so that we can play a role there. We believe that something drastically needs to happen. I don't think I overstate the following. South Africa's future depends on the outputs of the Madlanga Commission as well as what they do with that. We cannot afford the security sector and the justice cluster to suffer the way we have over the last few years. We need competent people, we need to build trust in the police, and we need to work forward to a country that we can be proud of. This is not one country that we fought and died for.
All right. Ben Theron is Whistleblowers House Executive Director, talking to us about that all-important conversation regarding witness D, who was gunned down outside of his home in full view of his family, really sending shivers down the spines of many South Africans who now raise the question, what happens to the people that are going to testify at the Madlanga? Also quite important to point out that police are investigating because there are also another version that this may be linked to the illegal mining operations that he was involved in. So there hasn't been a direct link established between the Madlanga Commission as well as the commission of this particular crime, knowing and understanding the dynamics of illegal mining in South Africa and how that particular sector also can be quite vulnerable.